Well, hi everyone. Great to see you. There's been a request to make a short video out of photos. And so we're going to do that in a simple way. First thing I suggest is making sure that you have a folder set aside for what you're going to do to make a copy of the photos that you're going to use. I'm going to call this Slide Show Selects. I'd like a volunteer from the audience, please, just to verify that this is in fact empty. Yes, it is empty. I'm going into another folder where I know I have a stockpile of images to choose from, and I want to choose just very specific photos for this little video project. I like these photos of Manfreda scratching at the door. So I'm going to select those. I'm going to copy them. And I'm going to go back to my new slideshow selects, and I'm going to paste them in there. Okay, there they are. Moving on, let's open Shotcut. See, where's Shotcut? I got it somewhere around here. Oh, got to go to my Charms menu. That probably looks a little weird because that's Windows 8. I'm clutching on to the last copy of Windows 8 in the world. I love that operating system. Okay, here we are in Shotcut. The first thing you're going to do is go to Open File. And you're going to navigate to your new Slideshow Selects folder and choose only one, the first photo. Just choose one photo and hit Open. Oh, come on, that's the cutest cat on planet Earth right there. Why she picked us, I'm not sure. She's cuter than me. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is go to Properties. You can find the properties up here, kind of this Charms menu at the top. And once you've hit it once, it will appear as a tab down here as well. So you've got choices to get into Properties. Here's an important thing you want to look at, is the duration. Now what this means is it's going to turn your photograph into a video clip, and you can select how long you would like your photos to be. So do you want them to be 4 seconds each photo, 3 seconds, 2 seconds? The default, I believe the default is 4 seconds. But say you wanted 3 seconds, you want to change that. So what I'm going to do here is either I use these little arrow keys, and I can go down. This is down to 3 seconds. Or you can type in the value, whatever value you want. But I want 3 seconds. And I'm going to hit Set Default. All right. Now that is done. The next thing I'm going to do is go to my playlist. And I'm going to hit this plus button because it's going to add the photograph in my source to the project. And the first thing I'm going to do is click on this new photograph, and I'm going to drag it down to the timeline. If your timeline isn't at the bottom of your screen, all you have to do is press on the button Timeline up here. But voila, this photograph is now in my timeline. We now have a 3-second video. If I click in there, I hit play, this is our video. So the next thing you want to do is get all of your other photographs in there. You can either go to Open File, or you can just drag and drop, shift and hold, and there they're all together, and I drag them into the playlist, and I let go. And then you have to wait, especially when you have some super high-res photos. You do have to wait a little while for the photos to kind of get into the project. It's heavy lifting for some computers if you have super high-resolution photos. A lot of the times it's good to pre-prepare your selection of slideshow photos in photo editing software to make sure you have all the right aspect ratios. You do pre-stuff, and that saves you time, but there's plenty you can do right here in Shotcut. Without further ado, well, actually, there is one more ado. Here I'm going to zoom my timeline in. So here we're still looking at the 3-second video on the timeline, but it doesn't fade up from black. And I believe Tara's request was to fade up from black. So with the photograph on the timeline selected, I'm going to go into filters and I'm going to hit the plus and I'm going to type FAD and I'm going to hit fade in video. And look at that. We're fading up. You can adjust the duration here. And I'd just like to mention this box is if your video isn't fading out or fading in as you think it should, try hitting this. That solves the problem 99 times out of 100. Just a little tip for you there. Okay, so now we want to get to the quick and easy part of all of this. So I go back to my playlist and I'm going to select, just like you would in any other window, I'm holding down Shift and then I'm selecting this last one, and now I've got a bulk selection of photos. You can do this if you want to. And I'm going to drag this down to the timeline and let go. And once again, you have to wait a little while because this is more of that heavy lifting for your computer. There we go. So here I want to zoom out so that you can see all of the wonders. That is 3 seconds of photograph. Now there's a gap here. There's a gap here. If I right click on the gap, I can hit remove. So now if I hit play, every 3 seconds, you'll see a different photo. Now I'm just going to stop right here on my end and take a quick break because I've got my computer doing double heavy lifting. I'm recording all of this to share with you. And the fan is telling me that it's time to flip the record. See you on the flip side. Okay, welcome back. As you see, I've made a costume change and a lighting change, and we'll get right back to it. Here we are with our timeline that if we go back to the beginning, you can navigate your edits with these buttons here. There are keyboard shortcuts. Alt and the cursor right and cursor left key will be, you can navigate, oops, that's Control. You can select different clips using Control and the cursor buttons. There's so many great shortcuts in Shotcut. So what I'm suggesting now is at the end we want to fade out. So let's select the last clip and go back to filters, hit plus, and I've got my favorites, my video, and my audio filters. Of course, fading would be a video filter if you're fading the video. But if you do a search, F-A-D-E, you see there's fade in and fade out, both audio and video. This time we want to fade out the video. And there we go. Now let's just check that. I click into the timeline area there. And that's the last edit, and fading out. And how long is that? Look at that. That whole video is 38 seconds long. Okay, now let's go back to the very beginning. I can scan through the edits this way. Or to navigate the timeline, I can click anywhere in this black bar where the numbers are. But if I want to go right to the beginning, I go to the beginning. And if I want to watch the video as it is now, usually the spacebar turns this on and off as well. So we're watching the video. Now something I don't like is those black bars on the right and the left. And that's just a discrepancy between the aspect ratio of the original photograph and the video you're producing. I'm trying to produce a 1920 by 1080 video here. So one thing I want to do is to optimize that real estate and feature Manfreda and not those black bars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. Everybody stop. I heard my fan come on. My computer's getting nervous again. Don't worry. Don't worry. This is going to work. So going back a ways on the timeline, I'm going to select this photo here. And I'm going to go back to Filters and Plus. And this time I want to do something called scale. You can do size and position. I'll just show you really quickly. Size and position is a good one if you want to kind of move your photo around. You see the photos, you can resize it and move it around. But in this case, I want to show you a different one called rotate and scale. And so if I just start to type in the search scale, SCA, rotate and scale is right there. And the cool thing here is this slider bar really makes a difference. Like, you can zoom right into your photo really quickly. But of course we just wanted to eliminate those black bars. So eliminating, and there. So something just like that. Now if I want to move the picture up and down, left and right, there's these ones here. You can always reset one of your parameters over here. But I think I want to move Manfreda up a little bit. Okay. I like that right there. Features her paws. My wife and I think Manfreda's paws are super cute. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is apply this filter to the rest of the photographs without having to do as much work. So I'm going to press play. My computer's doing some real heavy lifting. I think I mentioned that before. Heavy lifting. Here we are with the black bars again. So the other clip is selected, the one we're not looking at. I'm going to go up here and copy the filter. And now I'm going to select this next photograph, the one we are looking at now, and press paste. Baba bingo. And now in the next photograph, I select that one. Bingo. And so on. And in this particular case, I want to go in a little more. Because she is just adorable. We are head over heels in love with our cat. We don't care what you think of us. Okay, but I don't want to waste any more of anyone's valuable time, so the next thing we're going to do is a little work with transitions. So you might not want one photo to the next photo to be just a cut. I mean, every few seconds it cuts to the next one. It's a little plain Jane, and we're kind of used to some more, more nicer transitions. Sorry, adjectives are failing me at the moment. So I'd like to put transitions between the photographs. The first thing I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I'm zoomed in there. Now you can see on the timeline, this is a photograph I'm selecting, and all I really need to do here is go to the right side of the clip until the hand turns into the arrow, just like that. Then I left click and hold and drag first a little to the left so I can get a run up when I go to the right. Just like that. Now, watch what happens when I press play. Dissolve and cut. Oh, I want to do one to that one too. So I do the exact same thing. I left click, go a little bit to the left, and then to the right to get a run up. And then there we go. And then there's the cut. So you know what? I'm going to do it even another time. Left click, drag a bit to the left, and boom. There we go. But this time I'm getting a little bored with the dissolves. All right, I want to try something else. So in order to make the dissolve something different, like a star wipe or whatever you want, you select the dissolve. You then go to properties up here or over here, and then you'll see the dissolve is the default. But down here, there's all kinds of stuff. Now, my favorite is the matrix waterfall. No, matrix snake parallel vertical. Let's try that one. Wow, isn't that cool? But it happened so quick. What if I wanted that to last longer? Well, all you need to do is select the transition, and then you can pull the sides of it either direction. Oh, that one didn't work so well. That's because I'm making my computer do push-ups. This is hard on the computer. These are very large photos. So I press play, and you'll see it goes a lot slower this time. So that's how to put dissolves in here. I'll just do one more. I'm going to go to the left, go to the right. I'm going to select the dissolve, and this time, I'm going to select the transition. And instead of dissolve, I want to do, how about clock top? Yeah, we'll try that. So let's have a look. What does this one do? Wow, another transition. Okay, well, hasn't it just been an adventure? Indeed. I've really enjoyed talking to you again, even though it's through the wires, not quite live, but I do feel that some of my good new friends are listening. So please enjoy this information, share the knowledge, and produce awesome videos. And we will see you next time.